welcome back to another episode of Sit and Spin with me, your host, Joe Royland. Today on the show, we're sticking in the hard rock realm, and we're going to be talking about the awesome new rock documentary, Can't Stop the Show, The Return of KIX, a documentary. Yes, it's a long title, but of course, KIX, the hard rock band formed in Hagerstown, Maryland in 1977 by Brian Damage Forsyth on guitar and backing vocals, Ronnie 1010 Yonkins on guitar and backing vocals, Donnie Purnell on bass, keyboards, and backing vocals, Jimmy Chocolate Chalfant on drums, and Steve Whiteman on lead vocals, harmonica, saxophone, percussion, of course, a native Piedmont, West Virginia, and possessing a very unique voice. There ain't nobody that sounds like Steve Whiteman. The group originally formed under the name Shoes with a Z, and then became the Generators before settling on the name KIX, kind of combining two different children's breakfast cereals, KIX and Trix cereals, and quickly became Baltimore, Maryland's favorite hard rock band. They gained a reputation for delivering exciting live shows and toured all up and down the East Coast, and they were kind of like the band's band, and sort of also at the same time the little band that could. They always seemed like they were on the verge of breaking through to major success. Kind of did flirt with it for a little while, but never quite got like the major status that a lot of bands did. But always had just that reputation of being just a great live band with great performances. They released their self-titled debut album on Atlantic Records in 1981, which featured tracks like Atomic Bombs, Yeah Yeah Yeah, and Kicks Are for Kids. Followed that up in 1983 with the album Cool Kids, which is a little bit more commercial, had tracks like Body Talk, Restless Blood, Steal the New and Break 'Em Through. That wouldn't really happen. They wouldn't case their first kind of success until 1985 with the release of Midnight Dynamite. I remember when that album came out, one of my former co-workers, Leonard Koffler Fisher, was the one who turned me on to that album. She used to play it all the time, and I'd been familiar with KIX before that. Hadn't really bought any of the records yet, but I do remember seeing they used to play a live concert on the USA Network a lot back in the day. Sometimes it would be on Radio 1990, and sometimes it showed on Night Flight. But that album had songs like Cold Shower, the title track, and Bang Bang Balls of Fire, among many. It was produced by Beau Hill, who'd recently had success producing Rat. And I love that record a lot. Of course, then had to go back and buy the album, the other earlier albums, get into that. And it set the stage for the group's next record, which was Blow My Fuse in 1988. And that album came along at just the right time and delivered it with the tracks Cold Blood, the title track, and of course the top 20 hit power ballad Don't Close Your Eyes, which drove the album to platinum status. And so everything's finally going great for KIX. They're out doing live tours. I remember caught them twice on that tour. And it looks like everything's going to be groovy for the band finally in their future. And then in 1991, they're getting ready to put their next release, Hotwire, out, and then grunge music happens. And as it did with so many other bands back then, anybody who was even considered sort of a hair metal band, even though KIX never really were, or glam metal maybe, but you know, some of them had the hair and stuff, and they toured with like bands back then. And basically, even though the album had some great tracks on it, like Girl Money and Cold Chills, it didn't do anywhere near the numbers of the previous record. They followed that up in 1993 with the live record Contractual Obligation Live, humorously titled originally, and then they just changed the album to Live, which, you know, was kind of exactly what it said, filling out their contract with Atlantic Records, who then dropped the band after the release of that. They took the next couple of years off, coming back in 1995 on the CMC International label of the album Show Business. But unfortunately, that record didn't do anything, didn't really move any numbers, didn't even chart. Kept their name out there a while, but the following year, 1996, the group kind of just went on indefinite hiatus. They all kind of split up, went their separate ways. Brian Forsyth went off and joined Rhino Bucket. Ronnie Yonkins moved to LA, then back, did some stuff out there, then back to the East Coast and formed the band Blues Vultures. And Steve Whiteman and Jimmy Chalfant formed the new group Funny Money, who put out a couple records and did a lot of touring back around that Baltimore area and sort of in the Midwest around Philadelphia and areas like that. Still didn't generate huge numbers for success for them, but, you know, kept them going. And then in 2003, the group reunited with all of the original band members, but bassist Donnie Purnell, who was also the group's primary songwriter. He was replaced by former Funny Money bassist Mark Schenker, but given that he was like the main creative force behind the band, when it came time to think about recording and working on a new album, that was a big obstacle they had to overcome. And that's kind of where we come into the documentary Can't Stop the Show, The Return of KIX. This documentary chronicles the making of the group's 2014 comeback album, Rock Your Face Off, which brought the band back into the forefront, showed them their highest charts setting in since 20 years. And it was just a great record, great return to form for the band. And it just focuses on the making of that, how it came together. Features interviews with producer Taylor Rhodes, who the group worked with previously on Hardwire, and just talks about the recording process and how it all came together. It ends up being the band's most band-oriented project, with all the members of the band contributing. Documentary also features interviews with all of the band's members, as well as producer, and contemporaries and fans alike, and people like Nuno Bettencourt from Extreme, Lizzie Hale from Hailstrom, Sharon Ross from Vixen, Jeff LeBar from Cinderella, Shannon Larkin from Wrathchild and Godsmack. I remember going to see Wrathchild when they used to play back here in the day, and they later became Wrathchild America when they actually got signed to a major label. Eddie Trunk and Don Jamieson from That Metal Show, as well as lots of other people. There's great behind-the-scenes footage in the studio, as well as live footage, and it also comes with a bonus CD of exclusive live KIX tracks in concert, as well as a couple of live in the studio tracks on Sirius XM. And this documentary actually just hit #1 on the Billboard music video chart, so congratulations, KIX, for having a #1 music video out there. But it's a great doc. If you're a KIX fan, definitely recommend going out and getting it, also just for the live CD as well. And if you're not a KIX fan, time to check them out. Time to find out more about them with this documentary. And that's the show for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. We will catch you next time on Sit and Spin. Thanks for tuning in as well. I'm going to try and squeeze out a few more shows before the year's end, but it is getting to be the busy season for me, and just getting crazy, and I don't always have time to record stuff, especially once we get into late November and December, because I work in retail, and it's just nuts. So hope to catch you soon. Hope to have some more shows for you before year's end, and thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Sit and Spin. Take it easy. See you then.